Welcome back, my friends, to your full-time show brought to you by Mass Creations, Brazen Edmonds, bespoke web and software developers. Their link is in the chat. So Town win a game, actually win a game of football. They've scored goals. I can't quite believe it. I'm in shock. And just to top it off, Johnson Clark-Harris has converted a 96th minute penalty to send Posh up. What could have been? Who knows? That's a parallel universe. We want you to get involved in this part of the show. This is your part to have your say. There's a live link in the chat. I will drop it again very shortly. But it's not just today's game, really. Let's talk about anything football. Maybe you're a Peterborough United fan. You want to get in on that party. Maybe you've got a few comments in regards to Johnson Clark-Harris or our scouting. Cornell, what was that? Whatever your point, have it on this show. I'll bring in Coxie and Graham. Coxie, love the hat. What did you make of that second half?
Well, we won. I'm not getting too carried away at all, really. we won. Let's just take it. Yeah. We had a lot of wins. Let's take it. We won. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Graham, how about yourself?
No doubt we'll talk about Cornell's.
We will get there, yeah, absolutely.
Shall we say? Yeah. Oh,
Graham, what did you make of that second half? It's 3 points. It's three. Was it 3 goals in the end? I've lost count.
I think it was the good, the bad, and the ugly that second half, wasn't it? I mean, I thought Norwood anticipation for that second goal. Was on it like a shot. And that's what we want out of a fit Norwood that can stick chances away like that. You then had I thought Cornell was the lesser of two evils out of our two very average goalkeepers, but then that was just like absolutely embarrassing. I mean, you do feel for goalkeepers because there's nowhere to hide, is there? You make a mistake as a defender or a forward, you can quite often get away with it, or your teammates will cover you. But when it's on the line and you're like, there's something like that, you couldn't catch a cold, terrible. And then that penalty afterwards, I mean, that was just embarrassing, wasn't it, really?
It was, really.
We had a couple, didn't we, second half? They were having a bloody good go at trying to hit like the old terraced houses behind the, I mean, I think someone in the first half put a message along the bottom about we could be an absolute prolific goal-scoring team if they just widened the goals and heightened them by a metre.
Yes. Well, yeah, I think it was Mark Dowling at half-time said that. It was all right when it. Let's be honest, gents. Nothing game, nothing.
It's a win. It's a win.
It's a win. It's nice.
We're not used to them. It's a win.
No, it's nice to see a team play fairly well. MatchDay embarrassing from the Man Bun brothers. Simon Harris a win, but from back to front, all needs to be recycled in the bin. Edwards, Dobra, Dazelle down. Shocking game. Yeah, Dobra needs armbands big time. Blue Soap missed some good chances first half. I mean, you could argue James Norwood playing at Swindon Town, League 2 fodder. Maybe it's his level. I don't know. I don't think people have ever questioned his ability. It's his availability that people have often questioned. Colin Plum, we need a tad of consistency and confidence taken to the close season. Yeah, absolutely. Losing can become a habit. So if you start winning games again, it gets that feel-good factor flowing. And we need that entering the summer of change. Because as JT just rightfully said a second ago, I'll just grab his comment, the league is so bad. If we'd won just a small handful of games, or more games, we'd be in the playoffs, which is absolutely crazy. But it's true.
What's that you usually say, Martin? If your grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Absolutely. Michael Finch. Coxie, are you sitting in a fridge? Is it that cold?
No, just trying to celebrate a win.
Cold day, nothing game. Colin, I'm saying this as a win, end of JT. People would love to hate on Norbert. He's the only person we have that scores. Yeah, but JT, you're absolutely right. He is the only person that we have that scores. But that's the issue. As Brenner rightfully said in the commentary, if he'd played more games, who knows where we'd been. The problem is he can't play more games. Isn't it, Graham? That's the problem. He can't play more games.
How many goals has Norwood got this season?
Give me a second. I can tell you. Where is it? Probably 6 or 7, 8, maybe 8, 9.
So does that will make him it's got to be our top forward scorer, isn't he? Because I think Parrott's got 1 and everyone else has got none. So that sort of says it. I mean, Johnson Harris is probably who we could have had a chance of getting in the summer. 700,000 is not a lot of money nowadays. That would have been a good chance, and he's probably scored virtually the same amount of goals, or not much less than the whole of our team has all season.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason Clayton, Clark Harris has played 45 games this season. Norwood probably didn't play half of that. He's got 8, he's got 9 goals he's got this year. I mean, it says its own story, doesn't it? I like him as a player, just availability. Leighton Durrant, Swindon commentator. Swindon go down to a team whom their own manager doesn't even like. The fans don't like him either, to be brutally honest. A number of players missing today. Ben, welcome in. How you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
Very well, very well. Did you win an iFollow code today?
No. I've got one for Tuesday.
The streak ends big. It starts again Tuesday. What did you make of today's game, Ben?
I thought we had plenty of chances, plenty of opportunities to score more goals, but we couldn't finish them. Bishop should have scored in the first half, I thought. Dobra should have scored. Norwood should have scored that penalty. Harrop, well, where did that shot go?
Where does it go? What's your thoughts on Dobra, Ben? Because he's a young player with maybe a bit of promise, but is he quite ready for it yet?
I think he is. Yeah. I think he's ready. He had good chances today. He just lacked a bit, but I think it was just an off day for him, to be fair.
Yeah. Coxie, agree with that? Did you watch Dobra and think it's a player ready to break through?
Not quite yet for me. No, he's he could be. He has a few, but perhaps he needs to go out on loan. As Wolfenden did, go to have a season somewhere. For a whole season.
He won't now, will he?
He won't now. No, true.
Crawley tried. Ben, what is today's tipple? As I ask, and Leighton Durrant asks.
Just Ollie Cider,
Ollie Cider.
Ollie's. I've never heard of Ollie Cider. Isn't he good?
Yeah, it's nice. It's in Tesco's.
and other supermarkets as well, no doubt.
We're not. It's fine. Not BBC. Not BBC. Don't worry. I know not the supermarket. Graham's a Waitrose shopper.
Of course, yeah.
He's
an author, yeah.
Waitrose. I'm not. I'm a Morrison's man.
You're an author, Graham. You're an author. Michael Finch, just thinking about in 1 week and 3 days, the misery will be over. Adam Flapp, why are we still banging about Clark Harris? Different regime, but same season, Adam. Same season, and you can't say different regime apart from O'Leary. Who's different? Because scouts are still the same. Nobody's coming in that department. So let me know, Adam. What's really different about it at the moment? When Ashton takes charge, Graham, it will be a different regime, won't it?
Definitely. I mean, I personally think there's going to be a huge clear out.
Needs to be.
Basically, so they come. What's the last game next Sunday? And then we've got Shrewsbury Tuesday, Fleetwood Sunday. I think sort of by Monday, hopefully. They don't need to hang around to see who's won the Player of the Year award, because it's either going to be like the groundsman or Baggett, isn't it? It's not going to be any of the first team, you wouldn't imagine. So I don't think anyone will shed a tear. They've had the chance, and I think there's sort of, you can split it into sort of two analogies here. When Cook arrived, I think was it the Accrington away game, he wasn't in charge, but he was watching it and then taking over fully the next day. He then, almost had an open slate. He probably had some ideas, because I'm sure he was probably watching some games via iFollow or whatever. But this first team squad had a clean slate, if you like, chance to say, look, you should be re-signing me in the summer on another 2-3 year contract. They've all failed dismally to take that opportunity. So now, Cook's saying that he's made his decisions. He knows who he's going to keep. Hopefully not many of them. But then the second part of the analogy is that surely some of them should be thinking, well, or have a bit of a gut feeling, if they haven't been told already, that they aren't going to be part of this hopefully exciting project in the future. So the second part of it is surely they should be playing to show sort of people like Woodbridge Town and Framlingham that they were signing. I mean, the chairman at Ipswich Wanderers has said he doesn't want any of them because he has certain standards.
This is it. Leighton Durrant, he'll come on next week for the end of season party. It has to happen. Lee, welcome in. Your man came through against League Two fodder.
That's a bit harsh.
What, Swindon? They're relegated. They are League Two.
Well, I would imagine they're probably in the same form as what we were in, weren't they? I would think. But,
Probably not.
James Norwood,
No.
I can say it. Crunch, you're listening. You called me out the other week. I'm here, mate. Anytime you want me, get on the show. We'll do it together. Norwood, mate. Norwood is the man for us at the moment. Yes.
There we go. Somebody called Don King. It's on pay-per-view
on.
here.
Bring it on. Bring on Tyson Fury.
I'm seeing the pound notes flying.
Eddie
around here.
Hudson perhaps maybe interested in this. Yeah, bloody hell.
Lee Anderson, you, my darling, are different gravy.
I tell you, Crunch. Go support Posh if you want to, mate. 2 comments on the bloody post about how good Posh are and Clark Harris.
Go on, Ando. Go on.
Come on. You're so from up Darius's arse, mate. It's unbelievable. Come on, let's sort it out. We're Ipswich Town. Let's stick together. I tell you, but today, going back to the game, all joking aside, Crunch, I do love you. You know that. Norwood makes a bit of a difference. Again, Norwood plays, we'll win more games than we lose. As the players around him aren't quite so good, perhaps. But, I thought Parrott came on and did really well. Maybe if Parrott started the game instead of, what's his name? Craigie, what's his name? I forgot his bloody name. Bishop, yeah. I think
that's good, isn't it?
Bishop. Bishop's. I'm not sure Bishop is a number 10. I like him running a bit more deep. From deeper positions. But end of season, not much to play for. But come on, Crunch. You called me out the other week. Let's get on about Norwood. I'll tell you what. Norwood captain. He took the boys out to London for a day trip, a bonding exercise. And the boys come up trumps and delivered a 2-1 win. What more can you say, mate? What more can you say, Crunch?
They appear to have lost Stephen Ward in London.
Yeah.
Well, that's a result, then, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a result. Yeah, he done some good work there as well. Then obviously,
performance, that is it.
Ward's still running back to meet the train at 10 o'clock. I think the last train. He's got lost somewhere along the lines, but
They told him they were going back to Ipswich from Paddington.
It's just like speaking goals. I couldn't believe it. I nearly went through the ceiling when we scored. Even though, Norwood taking penalties, for God's sake. I know I go on about him, but don't take bloody penalties, mate. He can't take them, can he? Give them to someone else.
First one, all right?
Yeah, but when you watch players, you watch people like Magilton when he used to take them, John Walk. Going back to the old days, Colin, I know you're listening, so we're going back to the good old days. He was never going to miss, was he? You can sit there. As soon as we got a penalty, you thought, yeah, we scored a goal. As soon as Norwood steps up to take one, you think, oh my Christ, give it to someone else. Honestly, but apart from that, he's really great.
Michael Finch, it was more of a last supper than a bonding session, I hope. Lewis Gladden, Ben, how did Dazelle play for you today, Ben?
Well, do you want to know something? I actually voted for him as my player of the season. Just to wind you up, Martin.
Fucking hell, Ben. There's only 2 players that don't deserve it. That's one is Dazelle and one is Drinnan.
Only 2 players, Martin.
All right, 3. Hawkins.
11.
I thought Dazelle had a bit of a good moments in the game, to be honest with you. I thought he was probably better than what he did.
Really? When did I blink? Was I getting a glass of water when that happened? He looked lost again today.
No,
he lost at times, but I thought he was better than what he had been.
All right. Ben. Well, Felixstowe Blues. Really, or possible that Ward has been released. Facebook user showing that they didn't lose Edwards. All right, Ben, I love you. I appreciate you. Dazelle player of the year is terrible. We've got Lee. Lee, you better grab something, son.
There you go.
There he is. Go on,
popcorn.
How are you, buddy?
Right.
Here we go.
How'd
The
your
Posh
hair,
fan
Lee?
in the room.
Have you had one of them hair transplants like Norwood?
Yeah, but it's not quite worked as well as yours, mate.
Look at this,
And
mate.
your Grecian 2000 and all that sort of dark.
Amazing. Score a brace against Swindon and you're giving it the big one. Well done, Norwood. Brilliant.
Yeah, but
Brilliant. Where you been all season? You scored 8 goals.
Treatment table.
He still scored more than anybody else.
The handbags are flying here.
Let's get it right here, right? Yes, he's been injured, but when he's been on the pitch, goals per game, goals per minutes. Okay, it's not Norwood's fault. the other players behind him to back him up as shit, is it? Because we wouldn't be talking about it if we had 3 other strikers behind him. But we haven't, have we? It's all crap. They're crap behind him. They've always been crap.
Yeah, but you rate Dazelle. You rate Dazelle, and you're telling me now he's crap.
I tell you what, Dazelle. I tell you what. Dazelle played Parrott in today. Is it Dazelle's fault that Parrott didn't score and get an assist? You watched the game last Saturday, and you watched the first 20 minutes, and there were 3 balls from Dazelle that he played blind over his right shoulder. 2 went into Bishop that were clear on goal, and Bishop was offside both times. The third one was into Bennett's, who probably tackled himself, but he was offside as well. You know, Dazelle will play those balls. He played Parrott in, and Parrott should score. If he scores, then Dazelle gets an assist. Dazelle can't get assists from players who can't put the ball in the net on one-on-ones.
Well, I get that. He put a lovely ball into Vincent Young, didn't he? First half, back post, should have scored.
Oh, that was it him? I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I just thought that was a goal. I was jumping up, mate.
Look, I've never go back to Norwood. I've never doubted his ability on the pitch, Lee. I think I've said that countless times, but he's never available enough. He'll be at the club next season. He'll be here. He just needs to go away and get fitter in the summer. Look, if he comes in next season and scores 20 goals, I'd love it. I'd love him to ram them words down my throat. You want to go on my Twitter today, Martin? I'm not on there, and there's people they're just fishing, aren't they? For me, where am I?
Crunch is a like machine. Here's a likes machine.
I haven't even commented. I ain't even commented on anything.
The thing about Dazelle, though, Lee, for every good assist that isn't a goal, there's the pass in the middle of midfield where it's lobbed into the air and given away, and then you invite pressure on yourself. Like, he's such a sloppy player in possession that it hurts you. It hurts you.
He
I've
got
said that all
caught
year.
first half, didn't he? Pittman should have scored.
And second half. And I've said that since the summer, actually. Does that not concern you, Lee, that he is very good pass? There's 4 or 5 that are just sloppy.
I think what you've got to look at is, for me, because if you're trying to play that way and you want him to do that, if you want someone like Scoot who's just going to pass sideways and get good passing rates because he's going sideways 10 yards and gets a 95% accuracy, then yes, that would concern me. But with Dazelle, he's trying to play that killer ball, isn't he? And then when he doesn't play it, he's criticised for not playing it. But really, if you watch him, he's always available for the ball. He always wants the ball. It doesn't matter where he is on the pitch. He's looking for it, and he's happy for it to be played into him. And you want your players to be brave. You want them to have the ball and be brave with it. You know, so I think with some better players, you know, in the wide areas, if we're playing this famous 4-2-3-1, those areas that Dobra are in and Edwards today, we get players in that area and someone in that pocket behind Norwood and a better striker. I mean, if we can upgrade on Norwood, that's what we want. Don't get me wrong, that's what we need. But Dazelle will pick those passes out. He will pick them out. Whether he stays or not, who knows? But that's just my
Lee's doing the
it.
Andre Dazelle. He's chasing his own tail in circles. He started on the James Norwood train, and now he's got off halfway round.
Yeah, but he can't tackle. He's got to learn that part of his game. Let's be fair. But you've got to have a ball player in there. If you've got a ball player and someone who can win the ball as well, then at 21 you're playing in the Premier League. You know, at this level you don't get a player that can do everything. You know, and that's how that is to me. You've got to build a team around him. I thought him and Downs did all right. To be fair, I know it was lower league opposition or a team at the bottom, but we've lost the bottom teams. Don't forget, we've been a shower of shit the other week, haven't we? We got beat 3-0 by a team who are just as crap. So, you know, let's sort of take the win as it was. I think Dazelle, you know, you put the Downs and Dazelle in there, and you get forward players, then front 3 behind Norwood or somebody else. Then I think that's where we're looking good.
All right, Lee. Thanks so much. Appreciate your crunch. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow, 1:30. Victoria Henderson. Dazzelle's about as useful as the G in lasagna. Simon Harris. No way Cook will have clowns. Edwards, Bishop, Downs, and Dazelle in starting lineup September. Paul Mays. What age will Dazelle learn to tackle then? Facebook user. Sometimes the pass from Dazelle is too good for the players up front. Dominic Mann. Fixed, though blue. Sure, you should be fixed. The yellow, formerly known as. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's going. Okay. All right. Mike Brown, please Blackburn buy Dozzy of us. Adam Flat, Martin, I've got the house in the Dazelle bingo. I like the little sparring between the two of them there. Graham, who did you rate as the winner there, Lee or Crunch?
I'd say probably go to penalties and Norwood would take it and miss.
Classic. Goat time. Colin, how you doing, buddy?
Martin, how are you, mate? All right.
Very well. First of all, let's park the shower and strike. It's the first team. The youth team yesterday, what a great result that was.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. I mean, I had to work, as you know. I had to work last night for Colford. I was informed by Tracy Gibbs, no less, Liam's mum, kept informing me on my mobile and kept updating me. And she, oh my God, did she have a roller coaster, bless her heart, last night? But she was absolutely over the moon. And I've seen the clips and everything, and oh my God, I think that's done the club, you know. When I say the club, you know, the coach and staff and a few people have been a bit down, obviously. I think that's done a lot of people in the club a world of good. And when I saw the clips, because you know, it gets us all down, Graham and Coxie and yourself and everybody, Rich and everybody down. I don't care what anybody says. You know, if you're down through and through, results get you down. And I felt awful this last few weeks or months. But I think last night's result and the way I've been told, I mean, my oldest son watched it on the stream and he said they played very, very well. And to see Paul Cook and Roberts in that dressing room after the game with the lads, I thought that was tremendous. And it was lovely.
Nice.
I thought that was lovely for Cook as well, because with what's been going on, he's had a lot to put up with, really. And I thought that was lovely for him. And I really thought about him. And I thought, you know, he's gone home and he's had a really nice evening for a change, you know. And I thought that was fantastic. But for all fans, and it's so disappointing that we can't go to the game. Do you know what? I'm not going over the top. I think Graham would agree with this, and especially the older people who can remember the Youth Cup finals. I remember the Bristol City game. I think we had 15,000 to 16,000 for the final. I think West Ham was about 20-odd thousand.
Southampton.
Sorry?
Yeah, Southampton was about 17,000, 18,000.
Yeah, 19,000, 20,000. I honestly think for the semi-final, if it had been loud fans, then I think it would have been bordering on 20,000. I think it would have been nearly as many as that. Because of the season we've had and because they've like galvanised everybody, I think we would have had a really, really good crowd for that. But also, I'd like to point out, not because I know his mother very well, but I'll tell you what, Liam, I don't know exactly what the contract situation is at the moment, but I don't think he's still as yet tied up, I believe. Okay. If he isn't, they've got to start seriously having a word with his agent, because he is a boy for the future. There's no doubt about that. And the boy bag, again, I mean, I know they've signed him up, but I mean, I honestly think those two will be in the first team at the start of next season. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
If they have a very good, I mean, if they go on to win the Youth Cup, which is not beyond all our dreams now, if they go on to win the Youth Cup and they both have a very good, those 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, I think, out of that team have a very good close season, I think they'll be bordering on the first 11 come the start of the season.
I'm looking forward to the Liverpool tie. We're going to try and cover it in our Talking Town way that we do, because it's a bit of positivity for the club for once in a season of the worst, as Graham was saying earlier, and everything else. But back to today, Colin. Sadly, what did you make of it? You obviously listened to the radio. What did you make of it?
I listened on the radio. I think it was, by what I listened to, I think it was a game where, you know, we had a certain amount of possession, and I think we played not too bad considering performances beforehand. It sounded like we done okay, but obviously I've not seen the clips yet. I mean, the Cornell goalkeeper mistake, according to Ian Atkins, was
Sunday League.
Absolutely horrendous.
It was Sunday League, yeah. That's good parry. It definitely was a Sunday League moment.
Yeah, can I ask one of you gentlemen, Graham Coxey or Martin, what exactly was going on with this second penalty as regards with Parrott? I mean, did he offer the ball to Parrott or what happened?
The camera wasn't on them at the time. They were showing the replay, so we know as much as people watching the radio do, because all we know is that he handed the ball to Parrott, and then he ended up with it. And then his body language didn't look right, did it, Coxey? At any point, never looked like he was ready for it. Do you know what I mean?
Was it a penalty?
Yeah, totally agree.
Sorry, Coxey. Was it a penalty miss or a save?
It was a miss.
Oh, fucking hell. It went about as wide as Edwards' shot went high.
Wide as they do in Martin's NFL, you know.
No good.
There's a big difference, though, wasn't there? The penalty in the first half, I just felt all along that was going to hit the back of the net. The second half, as you said, Martin, the body language was just all wrong.
Yeah, it's completely different, wasn't it, from the first one? Yeah. Yeah,
I just thought, shit, I don't feel good about this one, and then that's quite understandable. I think it killed sort of like one of the stewards near the corner flag, didn't it?
It really did. Obviously, Colin didn't see the Cornell mistakes. So I'll ask you both the same question. Coxey, kick us off. Tell Coxey how bad it was in your own words. Graham after Coxey.
God, I mean, it's just
Sunday League. Yeah.
Sorry, Coxey.
Yeah, it was Sunday League. It's a sort of save that should be, you know, food and drink for a keeper, and it was crap.
Total shite.
Absolutely crap.
Martin, can I just say something going back to what Lee was saying earlier about, you know, he mentioned my name about previous penalties. I can remember in all the hundreds and thousands of games I saw my father, I always remember going back to even like Frank Brogan. Graham would remember this. Frank Brogan was a fan. Sorry?
It's before me, mate. I'm not that old.
Okay, Graham, that's fine. Frank Brogan. I was a young lad then, but Frank Brogan. You know, you put the ball down. You got, you know, all the rest of the players went back over the halfway line. It was like 1-0. You know, and obviously the same with Walkie. I think he missed 2 or 3 in his whole career. But I always remember saying to my dad, like, you know, when, you know, we was playing derbies or whatever, and the referee pointed to the spot, I used to just say to my dad, you know, go back over halfway line, it's 1-0. Because Lee was absolutely right. You were so confident, and his penalties were just like Kane's. Walkies used to go like postage stamp. Nearly every time there'd be postage stamp. I remember standing up the North Stand as it was then, when we used to get a penalty up the North Stand, and like, you know, you think, oh, I hope the net's secure, because, you know, like if it went like, you know, through the top of the postage stamp, I bloody killed somebody. Do you know what I mean? And but you were so sure that we'd score, but you obviously, you gentlemen don't get that same opinion when Mr. Norwood steps up.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
not the second time. First time, I had no doubts he would score. But the second time, there's just something not right about the whole situation. There really wasn't.
If I can just add one name to that list, Colin, in more modern times, we go in modern times. You're looking about the full Tommy Miller. Yeah. Every time he had a penalty, you thought, you thought this is a goal. He's going to get this, yeah, and he would.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And also, I've got to mention this one. My brother's slightly older than me. He probably just about remembers it. But I remember my dad always talking about, obviously, the great Ted Phillips. I mean, Dad used to say, to stand up in North Stand when Ted took one. And my God, then you did need the net very secure, because the goalkeepers, my dad used to always say, used to get out of the way of them. He used to hit them so hard. Yeah. 100 mile an hour Ted, they used to call him.
Didn't Kevin Beattie take a few as well? And he absolutely hammered them, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. And my God, well, absolutely. I can't remember one or two. I remember he missed one against United when we won 6-0. But yeah, he took a few, Graham. But you know, you're absolutely right. When he took them, they were a bit like Ted. You know, you got the goalkeeper, like, you know, put a pair of lead gloves on. You know, because yeah, I mean, he has such a left foot on him. Obviously, we all know about that. But yeah, fantastic.
As did Neil Thompson, Anthony Steele. Neil Thompson, excellent penalty taker. Yeah, Kev Sherwood. Walker did miss one at Southend in the promotion season, hit the bar. Andy Gray, 4-12 was the scorer. Do you know what? I can't even try and pronounce
Martin, I remember the Walkie one at Southend. We basically, we'd all managed to get seats in the Southend main stand. And Tony Swallow's gang, you know, Jason Dazell's half brother, that sort of had a few misdemeanors over the years. He was further down from us, and Walkie hit the bar, but we thought it was going to go in, and we all jumped up and leapt up and celebrated, and then it all kicked off in there. Then it calmed down, and then Neil Thompson again. We're back to Neil Thompson. Got the ball about the 88th, 89th minute, and he sort of was going down the left wing, and then he cut in onto his right foot, which is the first to admit he only ever uses to stand on. He never kicks it, and he hit it with his right foot, and it just flew in, and we all were absolutely looping. There must have been about 200 Southend fans coming across the stand at us, and then Tony Swallow's lot all kicked off against them. So that was the time, right, we're not going to stay to full time, we'll go now. So
probably best. Brilliant. Blue Soap, Tomo could hit a ball. Neil Thompson was a great player. I remember he's got at Southend.
I do believe, Graham. I do believe, Graham. That was Tony. Tony who put a bobble hat on Jason's head when he scored at Carrow Road. I believe that was his. I believe that was his half brother. Jason came over to us lot, the away fans, and I'm sure it was Tony or one of his friends put a bobble hat on Jason's head. Yeah. Good old time.
Colin, I do love memory lane with you. I really do. Come back to us again soon. Stay well.
Can listen to you all night, Colin.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
We'll try and get you on for the.
Can I just say, Coxie, you say you love listening to me.
Definitely, yeah.
But Gov knows this is the truth because I text him occasionally. I love listening to everybody else, and I love the show, and I sincerely. Love everybody on the show. It's fantastic, and I look forward to it every week.
And we love you, Colin. We'll speak to you, brother. Look after yourself.
Bye.
Look after yourself. Bye. So today, who was your man of the match today?
Got to be Norwood, and even though he missed the penalty, he got the 2 goals that won us the match. So I think I don't know. I've seen one or two sort of across the bottom saying, well, we did win today, and that is a valid point. It wasn't, I mean, it was a bit comatose at times, not terribly exciting, but it's 3 points, 2 goals, quite a few shots, which are all things that we haven't been used to in the last few weeks. So I think we just need to take the positives that we've got a win, however it came about, and we've only got 2 matches left of hopefully the majority of this squad's going to be disappearing out of Playford Road in the back of a skip.
Yeah, Blue Soap. Tony Swallow climbed into the roof of the stand at Carrow Road when we beat them in the Hospital Cup. Brilliant. Kev Sherwood, Parrott, sign him again if you can just. Yeah, so Troy Parrott, would you sign him again if he plays like he did today?
Yeah, I think we should be setting our sights higher if we want top 2 next year. I would go. The choice I'd go if I was allowed to go to the owners of the shopping list, I'd go for Dion Charles, that's got 20 plus goals at Accrington this year. He's end of contract. He's broken into the Northern Ireland full international setup this year. The salaries that Accrington are paying, we could probably offer double that if we had to, and it wouldn't be breaking the bank at all. The other guy I'd go for is Piggott, who's didn't play quite as well at Portman Road, but ripped us to pieces, certainly down at Wimbledon like the week before or whatever. I'd have those 2 as our main strikers. And I'd keep Norwood, as you rightly said, Martin, have him as a 3rd striker, because I still think, off the bench, if either of the other 2 are injured, you have those 3 strikers, we'll hit 40 or 50 goals between the 3 of them, just the forwards alone. but obviously you need the midfielders. We need to buy some midfielders and wingers that can provide service, not cause Stansted to shut down every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely. Coxie, Parrot. How about Troy Parrott for you, Coxie?
Well, he's obviously got a lot of potential. You know, he's at Tottenham for a reason. But no, we need guys, and the two Graham just said they have scored goals at this level, and we sadly are at this level again next season. So you know, we bought Norwood for the goals he scored in the next level down. These two guys have excelled this season at this level. So yes, but you know, we do need to get that creative midfielder in there. You know, and
Absolutely.
we need the whole spine, don't we? We need a goalkeeper, probably another central defender.
We need loads of players.
Tea lady,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, kit man. Adam Flack. Graham's got shares in Dion Charles, and where's Stephen with his Gilead onesie? Andy Gray. Dalian Atkinson is the main reason I fell in love with the club. My first game took a free kick, and the shrewdness keeper didn't know what hit him. Just on the chest. Lee Anderson, third. Are we spending $4 million on strikers? Well, Dion Charles is out of contract, so that's not a fee there at all. Is Pickett out of contract as well, Graham?
Yeah.
There you go. 2 freebies. Absolutely lovely, lovely.
Another alternative which Colin brought up, which I forgot, was that Brennan Johnson, who was on loan from Forest this year to Lincoln, and obviously you've got the Ipswich connection there. David Johnson's his dad, so he could put a good word in. But I mean, every time he's played against us, he's ripped us to pieces. I know it's not a great testimony against like our defenders, but I think he's a decent shout as well.
I just want them to listen to Paul Cook. I just want them. He's got a system. He's got a style. I want him to give the list, and I want the list to be accomplished. And you know, and if it's not Dion Charles or Piggott, I'm not going to be too concerned as long as it's because we had this before with her bringing players left, right, and centre and trying to mash a system. Let's just get players to fit the system. If that's a big target man with the pace and power coming from the wings, so be it. But there's lots of players available. Absolutely. Di Cornell, what would you give him out of 10 today, guys?
6 for me.
4, maybe 5, if I was being really positive and generous.
Second choice keeper, and he's not consistent enough, makes mistakes. Probably better than Holy.
Neither of them are. I mean, you look at Holy, and Holy's pulled off some stunning saves as well this season, but generally he's sort of a bit like an Ollie Hawkins in goal sometimes, isn't he? You know, he's 6'8", 6'9", you'll just see that shot trickle in down the bottom corner or something, and he's almost too tall to get down to get to it. You know, I mean, at least Cornell did dive today, but unfortunately it just went straight through him, didn't it? So, I mean, I think you've got to probably decide which of those two is the better bet. I'd say probably at the moment, despite today, Cornell maybe just. And then you've got to go. You need a goalkeeper that the defenders aren't looking over their shoulder the whole time, like thinking, shit, what's his
will he hold it? Yeah.
Is he going to do? You know, because as soon as they're half looking that way, they could miss what's coming at them in front of them or down the sides of them. So you need to. Was he on loan at? Was it Christian Walton? Was he on loan at Wigan?
I believe so. Yeah.
Who's out of contract? So he's got maybe a Cook connection, has he? I can't remember if he played under Cook or not. When
he did, he did. Yeah.
He would be my shout as a goalkeeper. I think he's out of contract as well, end of the season. So whether he'd drop down permanently, I think the rumours are that he would be prepared to consider Championship or First Division if he was getting games every week. You know, so. Because he isn't going to get them at Brighton in the Premier League, is he?
No, you wouldn't have thought so. Sam Haylock, if Norwood gets the service, he will score. Simple as that. Yeah, but if he's on the pitch as well, Sam, don't forget that. He has to be put on the pitch. The good doctor, Zach King. Cornell caught okay a few times. Not that one time, obviously, but no confidence in either keeper. I haven't even. Matt Stannard, the GOAT. I did like that Cornell caught 2 balls today, but compared to Lee Camp, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but so much better positionally, claims balls. That's what we want. Andy Gray truly believes in me a sign that will make us all sit and think, where has this been? We're in business now. Instead of being laughed at, they'll all be fearful of us. Back 4, Vincent Young out of 10, Coxie.
For KVY standards, it was a very quiet game, but I can't recall any mistakes made by him. So yeah, I'll give him another 6 for him. Yeah.
Good to
I
see
would
him.
like to have seen him be the bomber of the day down the right hand side, but we didn't see that today. But yeah, I can't actually remember him doing anything wrong. He's a good, steady player, and we know what he can do.
We do. Graham, the 2 centre halves, Wolfenden McGuinness out of 10.
Wolfenden was probably marginally better than McGuinness, I thought, today, but they didn't have a huge amount to do, did they? I mean, Pittman was huffing and puffing, wasn't he? But yeah, I'd probably give them both. They didn't do anything massively wrong. They didn't do anything that
Massively
you really
wrong.
sort of noticed much. So probably about 6s again, I think, for both of them.
Coxie, your man Kenlock, what you give him?
I thought he had a very good game. Come back in today. I'm going to give him a 7.
7, yeah, I agree
7.
with that. I thought he played okay.
Yeah.
Midfield then, Graham. Andre.
It's difficult. I mean, he pulled out a couple of fairly good passes in the first half, that sort of got us breaking away. But again, I just always feel underwhelmed by him. He didn't do anything really wrong today. I mean, he didn't get one of his trademark bookings for like losing possession in midfield and dragging them back or kicking them, and I suppose that's a positive today. But I just always feel that I'm wanting more from him than you ever really get. But I'd probably say a 6. He didn't do a huge amount wrong, but not anything really orgasmic.
Yeah, Flynn Downs, Coxie.
He's been touted as our best player on his day, but he seems to be like our season fading away a bit. Yeah, he did okay, but again, I can't list what he actually did good throughout the game. He seems to be fading a bit. I don't know if he's carrying a bit of an injury. Who knows? We never get told the thing, but yeah. So yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well.
Guion Edwards, Graham.
Oh, right.
Would you like to fly? It might be. Sorry.
Just so he doesn't feel left out, I wouldn't give him a 5. I'll give him a 6. But again, it's very difficult to pinpoint anything that he really did. I suppose you could say he maybe ran a little bit more than some of the others, but
4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6 maybe.
I'd give him 4. 4. I thought he was woeful. I think just go away. I've had enough.
Time is up.
Yeah, absolutely. Dobra. Coxie.
Out of his depth at the moment, with another guy who's full of stick him on.
Get the armbands on.
Yeah, let's get the armbands on. Yeah, stay in the shallow end, darling. Yes. Yeah. It's another one. It's typical Ipswich youth. It's full of a load of promise, but we're still yet to see it.
Yeah.
6. Generous 6.
5. If I'm being harsh on Edwards, I'm only giving a 5 and not a 4 to Dobra because he's a young player and he's still developing. It's not coming for him for me just yet. We've said Norwood, Bishop, big bad Teddy Bish. Graham, what are you saying?
I think I'd probably drop down to 5 on that one. I thought he was probably poorer than Dazelle and Downs. I mean, Downs sort of was a bit disappointing today by his standards. I agree with Coxie that he's sort of dropping away a bit. But back to Bishop. I mean, he had that chance in the first half that he didn't do anything. I mean, there was another chance, wasn't there, with a low cross across sort of halfway from about 3-4 yards out, which I know it was given as, I think it was offside somehow, but I don't know how, because there was like 2 players on the line, weren't there? But I mean, that was like a woeful attempt at getting the ball, wasn't it? He would have thought, even if it had been disallowed, he'd have at least got on the end of it and put it into an empty net. But yeah, I'll give him a 5. I think. I think again, there seems a bit of an ego there, doesn't there? A sort of bigger ego. Living off, was it 2015, 16, whenever it was, when he had like a good 14 or 15 match spell. But again, people keep sort of saying about our young midfielders, but they're not that young now, are they? They're like early 20s as opposed to
absolutely
18, 19. And let's face it, at the end of the day, I might be seeming a little bit overcritical and harsh on them, but this is our worst team in 60+ years in what is a woeful division, third division, call it Division 1 if you like, but it's the third level of English football. And that, these players, I mean, I remember, you guys may or may not remember the West Ham pre-season game about two, 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
And you had
Ellis Harrison, one,
Yeah, you had Dozell, Downs, and Bishop in the midfield, and West Ham pretty much had a full team out that day.
Yeah.
And I think we lost, didn't we? 1-0 or 2-1 or something.
I think it's 2-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
Ellis Harrison scored for us, I think, if I remember rightly.
Header.
But they absolutely ruled the roost in midfield against like international Premier League midfielders. And there was a big, but they've never gone on and really stepped up and stayed consistent and moved it on. So big disappointment for me, Bishop. I'm afraid. So 5.
All right, 5.
Yeah, I think Graham's comments there are spot on with Dozell and Bishop. They're no longer young players. We don't need promise from them now. That we need them producing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Big up, Roy, for the kind donation. Thanks for making the season slightly more bearable. Roy, it's absolutely our pleasure. We have got some Paul Cook comments. That was on Ko-Fi. You made that. Here we go. Coxie, first of all, come to you first. Cook, when you create, you're okay with what comes. It's when we haven't been, we look lackluster. We did open Swindon up, which was great to see. Should have won more comfortable, letting a poor goal. Should we have won more comfortable today, do you feel?
Yeah, I think a team. We're obviously lacking confidence, and as you said, the Bishop chance and probably the KVY chance. Another. If there had been a bit more confidence, a bit more, match confidence there, we would have probably won that 3 or 4-1. I reckon. Yeah.
Okay, Norwood needs supply. Diane Roberts might get a start. Look forward to next season with optimism. Finish this one with a pride and season next year that represents the club in a better way than the last 2 years. Managers want to trust players, but you must deliver. The reality is, flair players must create and score. That is true, isn't it, Graham? We simply just don't have flair players, do we?
No. I mean, I just think there's been so much just the last 2 years in particular, whether it's to do with this rumoured lack of fitness, like when Cook came in the first full week when he was going to have the second training session and had to give up on it because they were all apparently couldn't manage it. There's just been, I think, a lot of it, which is why I would clear out as many as I possibly could this season, is just that there seems to be a losing, accepting mentality. I mean, you look at the 2 away games we lost midweek after midweek on the trot, Wimbledon and Northampton. The running and the passion, and without sounding sort of disrespectful to those 2 sides, Wimbledon and Northampton, for God's sake, we played them home and away. We've drawn against both of them 0-0 at home and lost 3-0 to both of them away. They've got a way less smaller playing budget than we've got, but those players step up to the mark from the first minute to the 90th minute. They run their arse off. One prime thing. I mean, even watching it today, when you get the ball, you move forward, you lay the ball off to someone. You need to keep moving and want it back and draw the other team's players with you to create space for the player that's just got the ball. The amount of times today, sometimes it were just like hospital balls, And I mean, again, going back to the Phoenix Rising game that was on this morning at 3:00 in the morning, the players there was just that athleticism, that sort of, they were just, someone got an ice cream van coming? No?
Outside, sorry, it's me.
Okay. I'll have a choc ice, please.
A 99, please.
Yeah, no, the athleticism and the sort of running hard and like running back when they've lost the ball and supporting their teammates was just so different today. Pinging the ball about, all of the stuff. I know we've won today, and it sounds bad moaning about it still, but it was just so refreshing. Maybe it was because I was watching someone different rather than the same old Ipswich win, lose or draw.
I think you've got to remember where those teams you're mentioning were. They're fighting for their lives, and this squad, sadly, for the last couple of weeks, have been going through the motions. And Wimbledon have come bang up for the fight, and so had Northampton, and we came looking for a choc ice or a 99 and a day out at the beach with our flip flops on. You are right in everything that you say. But, you can't, at this point of the season, I wouldn't put too much into it, particularly when Cook is going to rip it all up anyway. And we know that. And he said that already. Cook's last comment before we close today's show. Last night was the best match I've seen in a long time. Quality on the pitch. Great day for those lads. Our academy sides don't do much wrong. It's the first team that hasn't been good enough for 2 or 3 seasons, I believe he finishes off with. Years. Which is true, isn't it?
Amen, brother Cook. Amen. Yeah.
I just hope this club gets some pride back again, because Norwich are champions, Peterborough in championship, and that should never happen. There's Tom Harley saying champions. Look, bless him. He's lost his way. He's lost his way. They're just from the league, and they're still worried about what we're saying. Bless you.
He can't find Talk Norwich City. Bless him. Oh.
Well, why would you go there when you've got Talk in Town? Tom,
Absolutely.
Our Ko-Fi link is there. Please donate on your way out. Thank you ever so much. We are done. We are dusted. We are back tomorrow at 1:30 with the Talk in Town show. Coxie, Graham, thank you both so much. If you haven't yet, please hit donate on Ko-Fi. No, I'm joking. Head to Amazon and buy this man's book. Let's get it to number 1 here. Tom, Norwich fan, buy these for all your friends and family. They might learn something.
A lot, wasn't it? All his family.
Exactly. They might learn something. Along the way. But we're done.
He did put a kiss there, bless him. Look.
He did, bless. Well done with Dusted, with love, with care. See you all tomorrow, right here, 1:30. Where is my end card? There.
Adios.